Welcome, friends, to the second hour, where I give more points to my team because I did a suicide video encouraging Selena not to do it. Does that work? You can encourage people not to do things? Anyways, discouraging, rather. Demotivating. I think like every celebrity has to publicize their mental state. That is the most important update about everything. Just how they're feeling in general. What can you expect on that side of things? And there literally should be some kind of host that gives you all this basic information, or just go to Dr. Phil, for fuck's sake. Let's make him more popular. Who cares anymore? Okay. He's gonna accept every celebrity at this point. Let's face it, we need views. Okay, for Logan Paul. Logan Paul only needs views. Dr. Phil doesn't need views, but maybe he does. Okay. Yeah, boy. It's literally a podcast at this point. There's no way out of this. And I don't need guests. I don't need to fucking do anything. I'm just having fun on my own. Beat that, you know? Does that count as good mental health? Yeah, if you do a podcast, then if you're you don't need to do, the mental health check. But just because you are in the podcast, some interview, that doesn't check out at all. They're not gonna ask you those pesky questions that would put you on the spot and make you think about stuff. Do you think about suicide? what, how do you define that? And this and that. You gotta be put on the spot. Right now it's super relevant because you never know when they shit post, and you should fucking ignore those people because they don't actually feel happy inside. And that's a pretty important period to just stay away from. Because if you're being a fan and you have to be picky about things, it's pretty difficult. Okay? Because you do have to be picky. For me, it's easy. I can just judge them straight up and don't worry about shit. You're just trash most of the time. 90% of the time, you're a human waste. Get away from me. But that 10% of the time, I'm confused. And that's when I like a person for no reason. So I'm supposed to hate 100% of the time everyone. Why is it not happening? Honestly, I feel for Ronnie from Victorious. The Ari show basically now. The guy with the puppet. Cause when you're making a podcast, you do kind of want to like chat instead of just sit alone. But hey, I don't think Nikki's doing any better than I'm doing. Just sitting with your husband, it's just same bullshit. I don't approve of this stuff. I think her husband doesn't input as much into the podcast as she does. And I'm talking about 1 to 10 ratio. This not working very well, dude. Back off. I don't know. She released a video I should probably watch. I don't watch Nikki stuff at all. 55 ways to get bored when you get locked in a room without anyone to interact with. Let's do it. Let's get bored. Yeah, I feel for her. I mean, if someone is bored in this age right now, they're not my friends. You fucking human waste, as I've said, is that 90% of trash that I just encountered throughout life because the boredom is the first thing you fucking fixed in your life. Like, please, for fuck's sake, you can do that. You can buy yourself out of boredom. Yes, I understand. A lot of things don't work. A lot of things you pick up and it just breaks, okay? And you cry. But that's not boring. That's amazing. You pick up a new thing. And hopefully it doesn't break that fast. And maybe it unbreaks that other thing that broke. Like, come on. I know she puts up a shitty example. Like, you can learn anything. Yeah. Sure. I'm watching videos right now and learning how bored I am. Don't do that. I just play games forever. And I play good games. Skyrim. Still, to this day. It has been a decade, guys. A decade of Skyrim. Please save me. No, I don't exactly play right now. I actually use tablet and play the shitty tablet games. They're so shitty. That's why I said, like, you pick up and it breaks. Like, they're so shitty. You realize, oh shit, I'm getting bored playing the game. Like, no, get me out of here. I'm not sure. What is the rate? It's probably less than 10% that are good games. But then you have to define a good game. You know, it's, if you can play for 5 hours, that's a okay tablet game, okay? You just move on. I'm actually glad they fixed, like, the pack buying system. Now if you buy a pack, you're almost guaranteed to get new cards until you collect them all, obviously. So that is beautiful. And that includes legendaries and epics and rares. Like, that's pretty good. Every single time you open a rare, it's a new rare. So I'm gonna buy a few packs. I already bought 2. And I've collected so much gold because I never really played any game mode that requires gold. So I never bought anything, including the latest adventure. I don't care about that at all. Let's open some packs and prove that there's no dust. Let's just prove what I'm talking about. Sometimes it doesn't work out. And the cool part is that once I get this cool stuff, I might be able to build a deck. Like a hand lock. Cool. Maybe I'll come up with something interesting. Because you don't necessarily want to be competitive all the time. You just want to build interesting decks. Alright. And that is no dust. Okay, there was a lot of dust actually. 5 commons. Did we collected all the commons of the expansion? I have to double check that. Standard sets. What the hell is that? It's Descent of Dragons right now, no? Scalacron's Awakening, I believe. It's the expansion. Or adventure, that's kind of weird. No, of course it's dragons. Fuck me. So if there are no commons, and I got them all, that explains why I got any dust whatsoever. Otherwise I'm gonna be confused. And indeed, we have collected everything pretty much. In terms of commons. Finish that card. We finished that card on rare. That's pretty good. I'm very satisfied. I could say this is like a compromise for not being able to trade cards with other people. You at least get the right cards that you need. So, thanks for finally doing that. Other card games already do it, sort of. Well, we already have Dust mechanic, but this is like super generous and actually encourages people to buy packs for once in a lifetime. I have never seen that before. Alright, so things are progressing. Our team is winning mostly because it's me in there. So anytime I come up with some crazy idea, I get $1 for my team. It's just so easy. It kind of annoys me because I observe my life most of the time, 100% of the time. So I will come up with more ideas than I see them, but at the same time it reminds me that I'm not dependent on other people's ideas, and I'm not even remotely interested, and I can actually judge them by that sort of level, right? Like, that's what it's all about. So I'm not like feeling like I'm cheating at all. In fact, what is cheating is Hearthstone Battlegrounds. Holy shit. It actually is worse than Standard. And Kriparian plays it with a fucking mega smile on his face. What is happening? You would think that a deck building game where it's full of skill, right? Like, you just start up with nothing, choose a fucking class that works for you. Which is, by the way, you know, it has a tier list regardless. And Hearthstone developers are never gonna fucking balance those classes. Because it's not about that at all. It's all about doing something while the time runs out. That's the first burn that they receive. It's like I'm sit there and I'm just waiting 20 seconds until stuff happens, stuff resolves. And it's worse, right? It's worse than just, oh, I'm gonna do something and then wait for my opponent's turn. No. No. Your opponent's turn is when you see the battle resolve. This is double the weight than in fucking Hearthstone Standard. Wow. Okay. And then the same problem persists. There are broken cards, like, oh, let's make this 5 mana Murloc that buffs other Murlocs. That's gonna fucking buff those Murlocs real good, right? And now the only strategy there is just get that Murloc and buff it with Bran, and you have a full board of mega buffed Murlocs, and that's an epic win. All you need is a Divine Shield and Poisonous. Okay, I can deal with that. But then they print a dragon that buffs itself every turn by the amount of dragons there are in your... That one doesn't make sense, okay? Because now you just want to rush. You just want to go to 5 and expend yourself to your opponent's whatever stuff. You just want to rush. And just get some broken ass shit and win the game from there. There's still strategy afterwards, you know, but for half of the game you're not actually doing anything. You're just trying to survive and rush to the highest fucking tier. And then you're gonna pick the class that's gonna rush to the highest fucking tier the fastest. And that's it. Something like Daryl, who's a good class, like, doesn't actually handle this shit. Something like a Deathwing that was broken is still broken because it can rush through Tavern tiers. Tavern tiering up is broken. It's one of the things that you have to do, and is the most valuable thing to do. So there's a very, very specific strategy, which is also plaguing Standard, and I'm not defending Standard at all. Is just get those broken cards, because they're way more valuable than 1-drops and 2-drops, right? You actually want to skip 1-drops and 2-drops and not put them in a deck in your standard Hearthstone deck because they're shit. They are garbage. Okay, you would think like, oh, I'm just gonna play a bunch of 1-drops. No. What you want to do is break Hearthstone at some point in the game where all 1-drops and 2-drops that your opponent played did not matter, and all of a sudden you drained his hand. He's out of cards. All of a sudden, oh shit, I played shitty cards this whole time because the game was different. It wasn't aggressive. Because aggressive Hearthstone, by the way, almost doesn't exist. Like, technically it almost doesn't exist anymore. In Wild, absolutely not. Absolutely. Like, you can play aggro decks, yeah. It's so weird, right? Like, you would think, how could it not exist? Because Zilliax, because healing cards are now more popular than ever before, and it's going to be more and more popular with more lifesteal, and all you need is a lifesteal combo. It's game over for the aggro deck. That's that. I didn't even meant to fucking attack standard, but like, the more available healing is, the easier it is to just counter an aggro deck. Because aggro deck, by definition, attacks face and try to spawn a lot of minions. If you can spawn a counter minion that has lifesteal and constantly heals your face, it's kind of game over. That's it. I like aggro countered with a minion. Any single time you can counter something with 1 card or 2-card combo, it's not really good. And the worst thing about Blizzard is that they print bullshit cards. Like bullshit. Like, Kriparian had to say, if you play this card, you win the game. On turn 5, right? There's a way to even buff its effect by summoning it early. So if you play this card on turn 5, you win the game. Wait, what? How does that work again? And is that Demon Hunter card, I believe? What the are you serious? Is that what Hearthstone is turning into? Every expansion now, you play a card, win the game. Ugh. This is something extraordinary right now. Don't get me wrong, there's still strategy behind it, but any single time you're forced into a certain strategy, you have less to enjoy, less game to enjoy. Like, if the game is balanced and all the cards are like normal and does some cool little tricks, you put together your own flavor deck and like you enjoy it. But the moment you like discover how many decks are available for you to play, like, you start exploring Hearthstone. Here, you pick a deck and then you leave, because that was enough. You just explored Hearthstone. You saw what other people play, and you don't want to play that. You know, you just quit. That's it. Otherwise, like, there's enough varieties to like, oh, this guy's playing that. I want to try it out. And every single time you get inspired because it's affordable. You haven't been crushed, right? You always had enough like stuff to play with. It was honorable fight. If there are no honorable fights, there's nothing to inspire you to actually play the game. And so why is Battlegrounds bad again? It's first of all, like, it's actually like this 7/7 thing, slot machine. Am I gonna get a triple? Let's roll a triple. That's another aim. So you're balancing these two strategies of getting a triple and getting your tavern tier up. balance those things out, and that's how you win. There's actually nothing else going on. Yes, you have to put together a board, but no, you don't. So after I said that, I'm gonna test what I just said, because I usually exaggerate by being in the past and not actually testing it out. I hate testing, by the way, and I do know what I'm talking about to a certain extent, but I know that it's worth testing, right? Like, I do have to go through hell after I say all the things that I say. It's an expensive thing to say things, basically. It's fucking weird. Maybe it's actually worse than I think, because I couldn't win a single fucking game. Well, like, I won one, actually. When I put Light Fang on Golden Mode with Reno. Get rich, everyone. And then it generates value forever until you win. Great. Who would have thought Light Fangs is still good? Yeah, if you break the game, then you fucking win. You get lucky, you win. But there's one aspect about Battlegrounds that burns it to fucking hell. And you have no idea what your opponent is doing. That's the problem. What are you doing? What can I play against? How do I play against you? You're just bumping into opponents and hopefully your fucking build is strong, so you just prep for strength, but then you see Ratwing and you wonder, maybe I should play against that, and you shouldn't play against that because that is fucking retarded. But and that's why Ratwing always wins, because you cannot play against it because your build is gonna be fucking weak and stupid. And I fell for that fucking trick. I feel so fucking terrible, but at the same time it felt so fucking strong, right? Like, okay, that's one trick that happens in Battlegrounds. So technically, like, you're so fucking confused, you don't know what to do. The only thing you have to do is just to build a good build, and or break the game and get first place. If you build a good build, you get 1 and 4. But at the same time, when all's said and done, there's no progress, there's no fucking exploration, there's nothing. Absolutely nothing. You're exploring a hero power. That's what you sit there and do. You get the best build and explore a hero power. And sometimes it's like a little bit game changing, but it doesn't actually change the game. You know. I mean, in Hearthstone, hero powers are actually not the main thing, right? Like, at all. And yet Battlegrounds highlights the hero powers. Here you go. A bunch of hero powers that you can use. Isn't that amazing? It's fucking hell. Are you kidding me? Is that how it all boils down to? Instead of building a deck, you just picking a hero power instead of, you know, 1 out of millions and millions of cards. Or rather hundreds, obviously. But 1 out of 200 of cards. Instead, now you pick 1 out of 4 hero powers. Let's go. And then you have like 50 minions. But no, you still just discover minions. It's like, instead of playing standard, you play standard that you always get to discover a card. And then build a board that never dies. So it's actually harder because you want to rather recycle things and build stronger boards that, you know, what I mean is, like, it would be nicer if the board actually died, if it actually damaged you and you have to, like, strategize which minion's supposed to die now or later, and what you hold in your hand as an ace card. Like, nothing gets out of control, nobody gets lucky because minions can be killed. Like, that alone would make Battlegrounds twice as better, but right now it's just some poop game that people think it's good because, you know, it gets upgrades and all that shit. But, you know, this shit just got upgraded to a smiling shit. Look, now he has a top hat. It smells like shit. Now it doesn't smell like shit, but it still looks like shit, and it will smell like shit eventually. Like, god damn it. Stop. Please stop. Get some help. Fix your stupid game. Hearthstone. Oh wait, Hearthstone is a fucking meme. It's a game that you open up and just laugh about. It's not, look what they made. No developer with any self-esteem would actually do sort of these things that Hearthstone is just pulling off, like, out of their ass. Oh my god. Am I salty because I fucking lost? You know, I'm above average player. Like, I know that much. I don't care. Like, I can sit back and just sort of semi-win the games, not lose them, you know, like, at least chill and do 50% at least. You know, I know what I'm capable of, but I can't do that for some reason. And when I'm intrigued, you know, I'm starting to win the games because, like, okay, that game is interesting. So the opposite happened. That's my conclusion, is that Battlegrounds and Hearthstone in general is just absolute garbage, and I have no idea how I turn it into a team, but I want to fucking annihilate now. Because not only it has been losing this whole time, but it is a lot of content that I'm watching right now and consuming. If it doesn't find its own place, this entertainment just failed my life, and everyone in Hearthstone just can get nuked themselves out of existence. Is like, it's bad. It's that fucking bad. If it's bad, don't do it. You know, don't do drugs. But this one is bad. Okay, and there's more to it, right? Like, I'm not like salty about a game that I play. Like, there's more options, and I want to explore the world. Like, fuck, don't get me stuck in some shitty game that I don't actually fully appreciate. Like, fuck off. You know, if I don't fully appreciate a game, exploration is actually a much better strategy in life than just that bullshit. Which is why my channel is supposed to grow super fast. Explore me. Find out who I am. You can't do that. You can't even watch a single video, obviously. But hey, at least Hearthstone did that. Made me rant about it. I appreciate that much. But please burn in hell. Please, do me a favor. However, other card games can always pull Hearthstone up as like, it's a meme, it's where you start, and when you realize maybe you have to explore. So it's not all lost, but it really hurts. I literally just, okay, Kriparian is playing Battlegrounds over and over again, so might as well try it. It sucked. What doesn't suck is this Mr. Beast video, which he's donating $1 million of food, but like, it's kind of good now. Like, he's responding to a crisis, he's showing workers. Like, there's nothing bad about it at all. He's making us more aware of things. Like, wow. And that's a donation as well. Like, everything is like perfect. I normally would like trash the idea of Mr. Beast, but the outcome is pretty legendary. I'm not gonna sometimes it just works. Sometimes it's nice clickbait, whatever, and you have some food, what you gonna do about it? And it turned out pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very happy. Now, when I talk about Kriparian or Mr. Beast, these are leaders of their teams, and you might not see it, but it's coming. It's very, very close. Mr. Beast is a little bit of a, like, what is it? A golden YouTuber or something? Like he's in the very end of the game, because he's kind of new, and he's showing like how to explode on YouTube. Like, congratulations, you did that. These people achieved something that is very remarkable. Okay, and that's what I leave for the last round. Now, they still can help the team because they release videos that I kind of have to watch. I have to keep myself up to date anyways. And most of the time I'm burnt out on both of these already because I've spent like 5,000 ideas that they generated. Technically not, because most ideas are just porn, but hey, that's kind of how you evaluate things. And that's why my team is winning a lot, by the way. No one even got 100 yet. I'm almost at 200. So yeah, fuck you guys. We're gonna crush this shit. The most powerful idea of Mr. Beast is that while he's showing exact numbers, like, what the fuck? This is the most perfect fucking YouTuber, and now I'm getting scared, actually. If he keeps on doing like exactly this level amount of stuff, this level content, okay? Great. I'm not sure if he's gonna pull Team 5, you know, not Team 10, but Team 5, when Mr. Paul is just cut in half. Just totally cut in half. It's a meme now. It's a meme team. You're not gonna pull it, Mr. Beast. You don't have friends. Go to hell, dude. No, but seriously, like, you have the exact numbers. People can donate. People can buy merch. Maybe he should open up a donation section for him, like exclusively for him, because people might want to donate to a cause that just they see and they feel good and they want to do things, and it motivates, inspires, like whatever. It's a perfect content. It can be improved, okay, potentially, but because we also want to see even more numbers. How much he earns, how much he actually spends, what portion, how much he enjoys spending on this content in general. Like, we want to know about his point of view, his finances, where he gets the money from. We actually want even more numbers. We're actually getting hungrier for this shit. And Mr. Beast might crash at some point, okay? He might not be able to actually get to that level of content that really makes everyone happy, sort of. But could put him in danger. I don't know. These tricky things, because every single time on reaching next level you can crash any moment. But hey, there's a lot of potential. I appreciate it. Let's keep going. And obviously the worst thing to forget, which is like in front of your face, Mr. Beast is actually helping people. Like, he's not spending money to kind of, sometimes he is though, but he's not spending money to influence bad behavior or create business wormholes or black holes. Business black holes is where a bunch of rich people do some shady shit, and it creates things that don't actually solve a problem. Even money laundering is not a good solution to avoid taxes, obviously. You want to establish businesses that think around the box and try to outsmart the government or something, but doesn't attack people, because people are very helpful. People are, most importantly, employable, and they think sometimes, not just for themselves. There's a lot of things you can do as a businessman in order to influence the world. And sometimes it's very evil. Mr. Beast is not one of those people, again, most of the time. He's on the edge, I would say. He's helpful, but at any point it could flip, but then people, will support these sort of ideas, and that's the beauty of YouTube, okay? The audience actually influence a lot of what Mr. Beast is doing, and it turns into a good, in general, outcome. And obviously there has to be like the idea for him to want to do good and not fish for views, but just get a natural good opinion about himself. Just smart, normal things. He's a smart, normal guy, and that is the most powerful quality. As much as I'm trying to find anything or not find anything, what I see is just being normal. And again, normal people feel normal, and all of us unite just to support this guy. It's amazing. Wow. Another thing is that Mr. Beast is trying to create a team. I mean, his partners kind of rise in fame just by tagging along, not necessarily potential powerful people, but it's a team, it's faces that you see over and over again, or you can say it's just a Chris and Cross, Chris and Chandler, great. These guys. Not necessarily Mr. Beast level at all. I think they're bringing him down, or having bad influence. I don't know. I don't like necessarily the challenges as well. But again, this is the level of content that I would expect, and living up to that expectation is impossible. It's not every day that some crisis is gonna happen, but this you have to understand. This is a video that sets up expectations that Mr. Beast is probably not gonna be able to fucking beat. So not only his Steam is weak, this is just a mirage. Oh, whoa, shit. But, okay, whatever. It was fun. It's just kind of weird watching Logan Paul because he is stolen by Delphine. It's probably the biggest steal. How? Nobody won? Yeah, that's why. Nobody wants Logan Paul. Not even their own team. Oh my god. We just rather put Critic in here. Obviously Adam couldn't pull him in because he had low income. But hey, Logan found new home. Probably completely garbage. $18 so far. They're turning into sharks. For anyone, for any sunflower eaten, if they catch up, they get $1. That's great. But they're still shit, They're the sharks. They're the last one to get a token. It's kind of interesting race that I put together. Anyone up front gets a star. Anyone who overtakes a star turns them into Dizzy and takes over the star. And Dizzy is almost as powerful as star because you have had a star at some point and you lost it. Why not get something for that as well? So yeah. That's happening. A race is happening, and while everyone else is just fighting for scraps. Easy. Wouldn't you know, Logan is vlogging more than ever before, I believe. And he's ranking up some points. Not for his team. I'm so sorry. I found Technoblade to be in a weird spot. He had a bit more content, but sharing it with the wrong team would be bad. Even though this is a Minecrafter stolen. Whoops, because he performed poorly previously. Oh no. But I'll let Technoblade give up 10% and go back to his team where he belongs. 65. Actually 75. Does that do anything? Nope. But it puts them in a much better spot. The game developers. Oh no. The teams are forming. Also gonna try, I really hope, Minecraft Dungeons. Is this working right now? Sign up for updates. It's coming. Spring 2020. It's almost there. What am I supposed to do with that? Why does Captain Sparkles always start without any explanations? Like it doesn't fucking matter. Is it gonna be free? Of course not. We'll have 2 editions for 20 or 30. Wow, such good editions. It's cheap enough where it's worth buying. Unless I don't like it. So at least Captain Sparkles is capable of introducing the game. Because he got it early. Okay, whatever. Let's see how good it is. Am I hooked? Is this a new game that I can be very happy with? You know, like, you never know. Unreal Engine? Okay, cool. How the fuck did that happen? Yeah, first of all, Delphine shows up out of nowhere, knocks me out. 100 points. Get the fucking life, dude. Our team has to work overtime to get back on their feet. Like, we barely got jinxed. Almost. Like, they were 1 point away from fucking getting 200 away from us. Now we have 3 stars, baby. 3 stars. Don't do this to me. But looks like there's a twist in the story. It's like, let's surprise my best friend with a porn star. And they come together for a relationship, which now lasts as long as this video is old. So, what? I thought they meant this girl, you know, just, oh hey, she exists next to you. No, it's this girl. They surprise him, and it sticks her. I don't understand this. Okay. I don't understand this. Maybe the rest of the video explains what's going on. What? Is that how relationships are created? You surprise someone with something, with someone else, and yeah, I mean, if I was surprised with Monica, like, sure, a relationship is born. Me and my pillow. We're back together again. Yeah, he said this is a big cloud car because these are like the biggest porn stars ever. One has more views and another one has a higher rating. And guess what? They're both water people. They're both snipers. It's literally a reenactment of Keanu Reeves' movie of Knock Knock, because she knocked herself in, you know, like, come in, live with us, yay. How does that happen? This doesn't make sense, man. Oh my god. How do I make sense of this? It's like a prestige for them to just hang around there and be in the light spot right now. I understand, like, yes, they like narcissists so much. Great. They take advantage of them. Maybe this video will explain itself, please. Oh man, look, no. I don't want to fucking highlight Logan Paul, but he's highlighting himself. I don't know. No, it's not 3 stars. Shut the fuck up. I'm 3 stars. I think this explains everything.
Like, we go to like a lunch, like a business meeting. Like, this is where I actually have no plan. I don't know what is gonna happen.
Whoops. Here's 5 minutes of me breaking down what definition is. No, not high-res definition. It's not about resolution, okay? It's about the most powerful word that I found ever in existence. Because if you really think about it, it's even higher than logic itself. You first define things, and that creates logic. Logic comes out of definition. Unbelievable. But most important, like, yeah. First, like, let's say you take love as a concept, and concepts are not important, right? Yes, I'm trying to describe something, but why is definition even more powerful than concept itself? Because it's just an attempt. Concept is just an attempt for something to exist. Definition is what actually makes all the existence, right? Once you define things, it's like a crown. It sits there and it exists in that shape. If you can define it, that means there is enough existence of that thing. And then you can talk about logic, which is how those things interact. Logic is like relationships, right? While definitions is the people themselves. Definition is like the psychology of people. So, of course, it's like the pivot point. And what is the concept? Well, the concept is what ties every person and is capable of describing every person. Like, you need to learn the concepts to create definitions, and definitions really help you create logic out of it. But the most important deal is definition itself, is the ability for things to exist. Is actually, it's annoying, okay? I bet God is like sitting down and like, this is like the infinitillion time that I hear someone fucking figure this out of what existence is, but it's so difficult to actually make it. Like, Matrix is such a big deal and is constantly trying to define things, right? The moment it defines things, things start existing. Like, that's how powerful definition is. If you can define it, it will start existing. Okay? So, the problem is, if you look around yourself and you're like, oh, that makes me feel good. I know this person's name and interests. Like, if you try to define why you need sex all the time, you wouldn't be able to do that. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a wish list, a definition of your life itself. Could you come up with that? I don't think so, and that's the hardest thing to do, and everyone is trying to do it as best as they can, because that is how you win this game. Except I'm probably the only one who actually found definition itself, like the most powerful thing ever. This is where you start. Like, you learn this principle that you have to define things, and it matters a lot. Obviously, people gonna find success in various things, and the problem is that when you're an ace, you have to appreciate every other ace person, and they come together and they just straight up are stronger than everyone else because they always operate in a junction basis. Like if one ace is weak, another ace is just gonna come up and beat up whoever is threatening the ace. Like there's no way. There's absolutely no way. And you can always prove yourself, to be powerful enough to be an ace, and that's the only thing that will qualify you to be in that ranking, but nothing else. You can't just bring someone down either. An ace just kind of gives up, and they know how to convince him to give up. The things are so strong on that level that it just works. It's one of those things that everything just works. Just like reality, just works. But yeah, when you're trying to define what you really, really want, you have to understand, like, dreams are already set up for that. You can make things appear that you really want. Sometimes. Never. Honestly, never. But then you're being asked a very simple question, which is like, what is the definition of the thing that you're looking for? Because when I was looking in a dream for a girl, specific girl, and even Monica showed up, and I asked her about it. I still might need to define what I'm actually looking for. Who knows, right? And why? It's very important. A part of definition of why this definition exists in the first place. Why does it matter? And then it becomes matter if it matters. There's so much you have to work on. It's a box for me right now. It's a mystery box that I know the word. I sort of get the idea, but I can't possibly explain it. This is just the beginning of looking at the box. I'm not even unboxing it, like, I'm too scared. It's too deep. Okay. Everything you always wanted. As long as you define it and give it matter, you can create it. And most of the time, this is why it stayed in my head, like, your mind is just capable of creating the definition like a little ghost. And it sits there. And it's waiting to materialize out of reality first because, this is where things matter the most. This is where things threaten you for the sake of asking you questions of what pain even is. Like, it's so difficult to even construct sentences at this point because everything has to be defined. Everything is a question mark. Every single step you just bump into a bunch of definitions that have to be defined if you really want to improve your life, I suppose. So why does this matter? Why does this whole fucking thing matter? How can I blow your mind to be like, oh shit, that is pretty important. So I'll sit back and like charge up that idea. As I've said, it's the basic idea is that definitions then turn into logic. And every single time I feel like, yeah, you have to find yourself, you have to define who you are yourself in just to be able to settle down. And once you stop defining yourself, you're automatically settling down. And settling down is a process of elimination, basically. Whoever is settling down earliest is going to be eliminated much more quickly than the rest. Okay? If you're settling down at 35, it's not a bad timing actually, because you're at the peak of your like power level, and you haven't lost all the beauty yet. So that's probably a good time to settle down for both genders. And if you're too late of settling down, it's a bit weird as well. You probably have overcomplicated the definition of who you are. I don't think that happens very often, because again, reality usually just works and convinces you to stop doing stupid shit. But yeah, that's a good way to figure out what definition is, by observing the most important definition that we settle down is ourselves, right? In order to define ourselves, we need to settle down, right? To finally define ourselves. Because you always have to ask, like, who are you exactly? Are you a creator? You just a singer, dancer, performer, just some artist? Or are you like a manager type who understands what kind of creations the world desires and needs, and what to do necessarily in order to improve everyone's life, sort of? Remove boredom, increase wealth. I don't know. You can tackle basic problems, you can tackle some higher tier problems. You can tackle relationships, I suppose. Or you can just create a very nice environment that creates a lot of ideas, and you just keep on generating that. Who knows, right? YouTube is full of weird people who have established themselves and settled down. You know, that happened. That already happened. I can't settle down because nothing is happening in my life. In the first few tiers, a little bit hostile to what I'm trying to do. But yeah, this is the best way to look at it. And once you settle down and you figure out who you are, you can apply the logic of, like, the first logical step that you do is that you need relationships simply because you can't do everything in life, and other people did already, and they have achieved this speed and ability to showcase what they have achieved, and you can be happy for them. Meaning that you don't just create happiness within yourself, you create happiness out of other people's achievements as well. You're not just happy for yourself. That's pretty good, you know. Being able to not just be yourself is also pretty important, but you first have to define, why is it that it's just you? It's probably very important to just be yourself first, and really embrace that first, because a lot of things are gonna happen because you probably want to, like, set up principles, and the strongest the principles you're gonna set up is gonna define that specific power level that you occupy, and that's it. That's the end of that. That's why definition is so ridiculously important. It's literally the thing that I will constantly bring up. It's not even personalities, right? But not just personalities, but it's the power level as well. So as those two things combined makes the definition, the word definition, the most important definition of self. Figuring out yourself. There's no other way to put it together. Anyways, that's it. That's pretty good. pretty good unboxing. I think there's nothing else I want to do about it. So let me put it one more time straight up. You're gonna settle down eventually in your life, if you haven't already. Some people did, and some people who settle down are trash. Literally, as much as I would try to fucking talk to them and interact with them, they're just trash. They don't understand my level. They don't understand my fucking problems. They don't understand that I don't like them, and I don't like to go into their little group and do their little things. That it doesn't matter for me. Okay, I'm not excited. They defined excitement in that group that I can't accept as very like valuable for me. It's not refined. It's not pure of evil. It's a lot of little evil things that happen in lower levels. When you're being a creator, you also do some shady shit, but essentially as you go up in ranks, you're not very happy doing shady things, okay? You actually want to be as honorable as possible, and it keeps on happening, right? And because I have been honorable my whole life, it was very difficult to actually create a relationship, and now I'm starting to understand what is actually going on, and that everyone needed time for themselves, or everyone has been settling down too early and couldn't understand my perspective of life at all, just like I couldn't understand theirs either. And because I have been super lonely, I made a simple conclusion that I am better than them. You know, they're not lonely. They're capable of laughing at me and having a lot of friends. So it's best to move on and expect yourself to be just simply better, not worse because you can't afford to be in a group or something. Like, that makes no sense. Friendships are not affordabilities. Friendships are like crutches, right? You need them. It's an additional need that you cannot control. People cannot be controlled. So, with that in mind, before you settle down, it's the most ridiculous period in your life. It's the most important. Logic period is kind of a resolution. It's what happens as a result of your adventures into Matrix, right? It's the resting period, a game over screen, and there's obviously like a legacy moment, right? This is where you fight fucking demons right now, when you're defining yourself, and you're gonna be rewarded. Your life is gonna resolve, and then I'm not exactly sure what happens when you're very, very old. I'm not sure what your life perspective is. Because right now, old people might not be like legit, right? They might just be in tremendous suffering and might not have a luxury to exist without, all this support that we give. Even though sometimes we give no support. Who knows? It's inequality as well. Like, there's a lot of stupid shit that potentially should make them dead, and then rise their price and appreciation much more, because not a lot of them exist, and they give up their wealth very quickly. That's another good thing, I would say. Who knows, right? Like, who knows what this fucking vampire season is doing to the old people and what kind of mindset they live in. I don't really care. What I care about is whatever I can observe, obviously. And right now I am in this very difficult period in my life that is going to reflect everything into a resolution eventually. And your life doesn't have to be like outstanding. It does have to be interesting and valuable in order to be very good. That's kind of it, you know. You have to be real and not evil and pure and still have something within you. You know, a lot of people fill up themselves with evil just to, you know, feel things and not be bored, and they're so scared of those basic problems that evil is kind of a good solution to those problems. That's you must not forget that a lot of things still based on survival, and that I'm struggling as everyone else to survive. Sometimes people pretend that they don't struggle, but there's a lot of ways to die, basically. So I'm not sure what you're not struggling about. There's more than just money, you know. Money is mainly what attacks people in the moment. Government can attack people, imprison people. There's more ways to die, though. You can even commit suicide, become so obsessed with some wrong ideas that you just give up. That was possibly what happened to me. But now I'm just kind of confused. Like, horribly confused. Very horribly confused. Thinking that I can't even really. The best and most positive thing I can say about it is that I was in control of my reality. If my thoughts were listened to, and I heard my thoughts as well at the same time, and I felt very important because with my thoughts I can communicate with a lot of people right now for weird reasons. I couldn't find them, but I still felt like I was controlling reality a little bit too much, and it made it really, really weird. It's almost like something possessed me. That's how powerful it was, okay? It's not just a simple... Weird things started happening. It never happened like that ever again. Once it stopped, it stopped. That's another weird thing. It's almost like at some point I'm like, no, stop giving me this superpower, and at some point you just get rid of it because you hate it so much. It's disgusting. But it's there, and it's possible, and everything is possible, which is even more disgusting. It's like you want to forget that everything is possible, but at the same time you want to not forget because it's power, and you want power. But then you have to define why. See, everything is very, very tricky. I appreciate that aspect, but I want to solve a huge portion of that until I'm satisfied. And right now I'm put in this eternal dissatisfying position of like trying to survive, even though I'm better than the rest, right? But then, and the rest is proving to be evil, right? So technically I deserve it. You know, I deserve a better life just because I'm not evil. It's like so simple. It's so simple, but there's something wrong. Like, that's why I'm not satisfied. There's something wrong with the system that it doesn't automatically just gets you there. I feel that it's automatically getting me there, but I also feel like even though I don't take risks, there might have been tremendous risk that happened. I don't know. I really don't know how to put it together. The best I can do is just move forward and be happy about doing so. Just going forward and forgetting the bad parts. And maybe some good parts, because who knows? Everything can flip upside down any moment. That's it. Like, yeah, this is the deepest and most head-breaking stuff that I can talk about. I'm quarter way in to finishing this, so that's good. Let's finish it. Ugh, yeah. This is the heaviest stuff ever to discover. But you know, I want it, you know, I want the actual power. The actual power. And when you see other people settling down, the jealousy kind of rises up, and you're like, but I can't do this and I can't do that. But no, that's not a real problem. It's their time to shine, and they might not get a better time to shine than now, you know, like, once you settle down, it's game over for them. It's like you're the most important thing at that point. So it's absolutely beautiful. And the internet generation is a new generation of people. And at some point I will be recognized, and I will stomp the ground and will be very, very invasive in other people's lives. And it's best to keep me in shadows. That is the best thing, to put it out right now in the open. Like, obviously, good people are in the back of the line, and they're just waiting their time until everything is prepared, basically. So, yeah, I'm satisfied with that explanation, except, you know, those good people become evil, and that gives them even more power. That is the doomsday clock. Okay, if I get too much power, though, if I'm on the back of the line, this is what makes the line so fair, right? The line does have to move on in such a way that it unleashes maximum potential, right? Because if you put me and I don't get to perform, I'm waiting in the back, and I don't get to perform and do anything, I'm gonna be very angry, you know. If I recognize that I'm treated unfairly, I'll have to adopt evil, and that will grow me exponentially, right? Like, that is not some power that you want to fucking just give to a good person. It's weird, right? But you don't want to give evil to a good person, because they know how to use it. You know, that's what makes them powerful, when they see everyone else handling evil, but then, you know, oh, evil just slipped through my fingers. Shit. God damn it, it did slip through my fingers, didn't it? It's my annual alarm clock to work, which I don't have to do today. Whew. Wow. It hurts. Alarm clocks just hurt. So yeah, all of these things are gonna be discussed in like a different form, obviously. When the round 8 and 9 hits, it's gonna be like unleashing the power of a simulation, basically, that has been happening this whole time, of like, okay, let's let the shitty people go first, and then we improve as we go along, to make people interested in how improvement works. not necessarily obvious. It's not gonna be obvious, right? For people who just sit there and try to entertain themselves of what's going on. It's not obvious at all. Because at first they feel like, oh, I'm kind of being a part of something. But then as the power level rises, truly independent people win. Truly self-defined and like really people who kind of can have friends, they can have relationships, but they come down and like they demand it. It's a weird moment, and you can't relate to those people. You just have to be like, what the fuck is going on at this point? So that stuff is happening and rotating, I believe, or it should. And this is a small simulation done in like 5 months, because holy shit, it's gonna take 2 more months to do those fucking last bits, and probably it's not gonna end there. There's more that can be done, but that's very cute. Yeah, I mean, my fucking videos can sometimes be fucking stupid, right? Like, I will never get to fucking contact Selena Gomez or anything like that. Be fucking stupid, right? Like, I will never get to fucking contact Selena Gomez or anything like that. I recognize that this is worth a highlight because I was inspired to kind of show this deck, but it is not okay. It's a hunter aggro deck, hey, and aggro plays a certain way that doesn't necessarily make you want to hate Hearthstone. You have to understand how aggro decks play. So at first your mulligan hand is ridiculously important. It's almost like playing a slot machine. You either get a very good opener, or you have a good chance to lose. Right. My aggro decks try to, you know,
greetings, traveler.
Pull a long-term goal, so there's enough ways for your opponent to misplay, or enough ways for you to get a grip on some combo or whatever. So it's a little bit smarter. It's also very smart for like control decks to counter aggro, because they have a very hard time doing so. Like I just play like a control deck all of a sudden because he's playing a lot of cards and it feels like he cannot be stopped. But
to my side.
Yeah, he probably can't be stopped. It's a very annoying card that has been annoying for a long time, and Zephyrus 100% gives you for turn 3 to get this card, so it's absolutely broken. And you have to deal with this. Deal with the idea that Hunter is just super fucking broken. And you have to just get lucky, basically, which I am getting. Can't complain with that, you know? I'm not complaining at all right now. And that's the game plan. When you play tempo decks, I recognize you actually need taunts. You can't play without taunts. You can actually play control deck without taunts because you have a lot of heals. And you actually encourage your opponent to attack base because, well, nobody cares. You're just gonna heal up your damage, and you're gonna keep your board, which is rarely refreshed. I'm not exactly sure what he's trying to be aggro against. Aggro. I'm not sure if it's gonna work for him. Like, he has to have so much damage in the end. Just straight up to burn. Because, Just, yeah, if it's a burn deck, of course it's gonna win against aggro. It's a fucking no-brainer. Now I have to set up lethal next turn, so I play this, obviously. See that? If he was Tempo deck, he would be dead. Right now he has enough burn to fucking kill me. Whatever. Crazy. Wow, dude. Amazing. Who would have thought? The fun part is that aggro decks play themselves. Like, in the first few turns, it creates a very strong opener that kind of defines the game. So, you obviously mulligan for that. Try and see what happens. A lot of the game just plays before you actually start playing the game. So that's your choice. You play aggro, the game is gonna play out quite a bit. And then you get to decide what to do next. Which, you know, if that's your playstyle, that's pretty cool actually. If you understand it, of course. Most people just do it to have quick games and not really care about strategy. But there's plenty of strategy. There's no worries about that. Him destroying and trading fully, it's kind of overkill. Makes my mind boggle a bit. Just, I don't know. I can't even fucking put it together. I have to defend my temple card. And you can only afford, like, very, very tiny tempo for very beginning. So these guys are constantly getting value. It's nice, but then you cannot afford doing that. This minion is frozen and very easy to kill.
Double time and double pay.
On the wings of evil.
Yeah, it's fine. We have our turns.
Low.
Perfect. Always skip. Trading if we can afford it. There's no some weird ass tempo plays or a taunt. We have to kill those, obviously. That's one of those weird tempo plays. Unless he doesn't use all the mana,
On the wings of evil.
then it didn't work. And right now, like, the decks are so powerful, you can't really expect them not to kick your ass, basically. In whatever condition that is. Good luck breaking all my fucking traps, even though I don't actually have a fire trap. Explosive trap, rather. But who would call it fire trap? I mean, explosive trap. Just fire explosion. He's actually dead. I'm actually impressed
Astounding.
how dead he is. Absolutely. He has to get, like, really good heals right now. And not Galacrond. And it's rank 17, so it doesn't count. Nothing counts. When you're playing aggro decks, you're gonna be very quickly normalized. Basically, you're gonna win a lot of games until you reach that level when aggro decks are being countered properly and played around properly. All these things are fixed, basically, and you don't get any more credit for playing an aggro deck. So, the fact that you can win, if you want to climb, you have to start with an aggro. It's actually a pretty beautiful story, I would say. For whoever cares about Hearthstone, anyways. I don't care. He's dead. Just admits to playing some weird shit and
Yes, yes, I will destroy them.
oh wow, that is pretty interesting. He did healed, and I feel like he actually healed outside the lethal range. Yes. Well, might as well summon some shit that I will regret summoning, because I can play it.
Face me, you meddling moron!
No, I don't actually regret it.
Dragon Lord.
Low.
I want to do this, but this is not happening at all. It's too expensive, I would say. Alex Straza, are you kidding me right now? To do inefficient trading. Very efficient trading. Yeah, because I can't really afford it. Just blocking the damage. Well, that was a lot of healing. And even more healing. I guess I lose now. Because it was a decent control deck. Plays against aggro directly. And not much else. It's gonna heal even more. Whatever. As an aggro deck, you're trying to do some very complicated stuff, by the way, with your deck. You're trying to create biggest questions that your opponent has to answer immediately. If they don't do it in time, it explodes right in their face and makes them feel stupid, right? It makes them feel like they have to improve their deck. That's kind of the whole point of aggro decks. And smash. And I'm trying to like draw as much as possible, so I put the most efficient card draw mechanics in, just to get anything going after I do my stuff with the deck. You get additional damage. It's frozen. That's probably gonna stay for a while. I'm not even sure what I have to do. Just clear, I suppose. He's trying to fucking flame strike the board. But I have a better idea. How about you never do this minion? Like never. Just don't do it. So by the questions, I mean you spread out minions, you have this weird hero power, this damage, you have burst in your hand, that if your opponent doesn't care to go low enough, he gets screwed up. You get freezing trap, which is like, oh, you basically have traps that your opponent has to think about in general, and he's dead. Very dead, by the way. My question. It's actually pretty fun. It's actually pretty fun.
Well played.
And I even got a well played. Definitions are so important that probably just by adding this on a title, on every title that I have, and obviously adding colorful and interesting thumbnails that define the video but are like very obscure and weird, right? Because they're trying to be simple as well, so you only understand once you watch the video what it's about. I like that sort of like thumbnail is a puzzle piece, right? And you figure out what it actually means and where it goes, and you understand everything, really, because it intrigues you about the next puzzle piece and what it could mean, right? Then you start to understand how it chains together. So with those two things in hand, if I upgrade everything, maybe I will break through like 5 more views, man. That's crazy. I love how retarded RuneScape community is. Like really retarded. Like, if you really want to like avoid botting, play RuneScape 3. Guess what? In starting area, you actually earn more money. Like real money. Real money. Because you technically get 90. Right, you have to cut it in by 10. And you still get more each time. And what I'm talking about is that every single time I kill a rabbit, I get a cow hide, basically, in OSRS, old school RuneScape. And the bank is right there. And I can loot all of it at once. I can probably just create a full inventory of loot, drop down, and loot it all in one go, stack it into my chest, and be like, that's it. You know, I did my loot. And in order to fill your inventory with cowhide, you actually have to you have to kill cows for a little while, okay? This took me less than a minute. This is not okay. Nobody's playing RuneScape 3 for money right now. They're insane, right? Because it's against botting. It's pretty difficult to actually navigate this map, this sort of 3D map. Like, I would say that Skyrim would be the hardest difficulty for bots because, you know, you're in first person view and you can't really navigate based on pixels. Like, it's bullshit. You really have to have a super smart bot. So that would just fix botting in general. But yeah, this just blows my mind. I have been trying to like, what is the best way to get some money early in RuneScape? Old school RuneScape. There is none. Don't play it. It sucks. It doesn't even look good. It actually forces you to play multiple accounts, where here it does the opposite. So I'm still curious if I will be encouraged to play multiple accounts, and it's still gonna be fun in terms of like how fast I can get value, basically generate value. That's all I care about really about these games, because I literally just want to quit my job, which I get $3 every single hour. Is that good? It's okay, but I can possibly earn more just killing rabbits with 10 accounts, let's say, right? If 10 accounts can actually kill rabbits, I would earn the same amount. Now, I used to do smelting, and for each iron, I believe, or bronze smelted, you get same amount as kill a rabbit. But you kill rabbits a lot faster, but you have to do it manually. So there's a lot of tricks, I suppose. But most importantly is that I struggle to earn 1 million in a day in old school RuneScape. Here I earn like 20 million in a day, and it wasn't really a struggle. It was like the most basic strategy, and I didn't improve anything and didn't explore the world, didn't basically do anything at all, and I get 20 million. So there's a contrast, right? You want to divide it by 5, by the way. RuneScape 3 by 5. And you get that I was earning 4 million, and then I was struggling to get 1 million on old school. So it's at least 4 times better. It's this is the prediction. You can actually generate more value. It's 4 times better, and again, it counters botting, which is a huge topic, and nobody should care, honestly. Old school RuneScape should be about. I don't care. I really don't care. If this turns out better, I don't care that, you know, everything has a very complicated UI, but you can move it around, you can scale it, like, god damn it. Who cares? Who cares that I have some special attacks? Does it blow your mind? Yeah, old school RuneScape is simpler. That's crazy, right? And everyone is like repulsed from this game. So yeah, basically, in maybe 10 minutes you get 100k just with the rabbits. And with cows you get 2k. That is so weird. It's 10 times better. It's just 10 times better. I don't know. And you can't even sell cows, because you're restricted at first few hours of your gameplay. Like, even that's problematic. I don't know, like, there's absolutely no reason to play old school RuneScape when compared with the biggest reason ever, which is like, can you make money with this game? No, you can't. I also believe that running speed and teleportation is like less restricted. I know teleportation is less restricted, but the running speed actually doesn't drain that fast. Or it's not speed, it's energy drain. It doesn't drain that fast. You can go to a lot more places and grind a lot better. Oh look, it's pottery. Like, I'm gonna spend a lot of time just exploring the fucking place. Alright, let's see what my first impression of cows are. Cause I wanna know, man. I can kill them with a few hits, right? 1 hit. Awesome. 1 hit. You don't do that on level 1 on old school RuneScape. You are killing cows, a cow, for like half a minute, and I got 4k. What the fuck is this shit? Are you serious right now? I'm happy as I've ever been right now, realizing that I don't have to play a shitty looking game. There was no fucking value in there at all. And this guy is not even picking this stuff up. It's probably shit anyways. I don't know. Please explain. It's shit picking up 6k every single time, just randomly, easily. What is the most valuable thing here? So this is pretty valuable. This is super valuable. And this is probably not so valuable because it's, you know, it's a trope of like what you can sell in RuneScape, but no. Now it's beef time. It's actually foods time, because probably people actually are excited to just give this combat system a try and fighting like crazy ass mobs that are difficult to kill. So that is beautiful. Oh my god, like what? What? That took me nothing. That took me even less time. This guy is even killing it for me. I don't have to do anything. Just come there and pick shit up. Look at this. Guess what? How much do I get? I probably get a full inventory, don't I? Yeah. He's just picking up steak, but I literally just picked up everything with one scoop. Like, it's crazy. What if... Did I not pick up beef? All the beef that was on the ground? Maybe he's picking it up. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. What the fuck? How much that was? 10k? I can't even... Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have some fun, okay. I'm not gonna lie. Just looking at it, at all the numbers, I'm gonna have so much fun. In fact, I do want bots to just kill old school RuneScape. And just like it appeared, just let it die. You know, you can go from this to a better version of what actually we want from RuneScape, right? Like, we can go from here to that simplicity, so to speak. We can achieve that. There's no problem. Or maybe it's good as it is. I actually can't tell. It's like Ariana Grande. Everyone hates her because you don't listen to her music. Wow, and she looks amazing. Wow, is that why you hate her? Like, you can't. Oh, she's popular, you know. This game looks popular because it looks like every other game, every other MMO. You know, like, this is kind of fucking bullshit, right? This is absolutely bullshit. You have to understand why you play certain games and how it all works out. I'm not sure why he's picking up all the food. It's like, I guess it's a food collector. I'm just everything collector. I would just bury bones and be happy about it. Fuck this shit. Damn, I'm just gonna loot their inventories. So if I loot this, no, I can't even calculate it anymore. I know it's like 28 times 900. So it takes like a minute to do that, or 2 minutes to do that. Here you just go back and forth with the inventory of 12k. That's not bad. Yeah, I'll just work in the background. I'm not sure what we'll come up with. It's literally second activity you can do. Literally second. And maybe there's another bank over there. Like, I don't even know anymore. I'm so... Yeah, there's another bank. Right here. They're very generous. All Jagex has to do is just speak for themselves, you know. But we did this game. Why you not like this game? It's the craziest shit ever, dude. But why you not like this game? It's good. Now I'm realizing that this is literally just used for cooking and not much else. How much is ashes? It seems very rare, actually, but not useful, okay? There's a lot to explore. Like, when I'm talking about RuneScape and the trade simulation of it, it's very interesting to just pick up items and see how valuable they are. Just that alone. And how you trade those items, it's pretty complicated process, I would say. It's so weird, because right now it's supposed to be more popular than ever before. But we still have to, like, beat old school RuneScape somehow. Make me feel like I'm playing a proper game and not just some kind of an attempt, you know, an attempt to improve. That's kind of probably why it can suck sometimes. You're trying to improve, but you didn't really do anything. So again, when you cook, the value reduces, so it's probably used just for cooking on low level accounts. Grind? What is that now? Jesus, what is this? amazing. I cannot dust my hands. Oh no. I guess chickens are more powerful than cows because they have twice as more health. So that's fascinating. What do I get for a stack? Wow. Am I impressed? Yeah, this is kind of weird. This is next level, literally. I'll just sit there and kill animals at this point. I don't know, man. Yeah, the energy actually resets very, very quickly, and it uses itself up a little bit slower. Like, this is weird. I'm just cutting down a tree and I healed myself 10% or whatever. Or maybe 20, I can't even tell anymore. But basically I can kill cows and restore my energy, possibly, while I'm doing it. And then run to the bank with full speed. No problem. Like, there's not only a benefit of how much wealth you get per kill, but also how fast you get to the bank. Like, this is no joke much better than... I don't even want to compare it anymore. I just want to be done with this shit. I want to know how fast I can get this thing to work in like a few days, right? How much wealth I can actually generate in a few days. And then compare it. Because I set up old school in like the most comfortable way that I can get. And it doesn't compare at all, but we'll see. It has been 20 minutes, give or take. I have this, right? 1.3 times. This is 200k basically. 200k in 20 minutes. As a beginner. No, wait, there's more, you know, like, there's this amount of K. There's cowhide as well, which is not exactly that valuable, but it's still 70k. I've earned 400k in 20 minutes. Okay, yeah. And that translates to 80k in old school Runescape. It doesn't seem very much, but I worked entire day. I worked my entire day. And why is Discord closed? Please open Discord. I worked my entire day, and I got up to 70k an hour. An hour. This was 20 minutes, 80k. I didn't even try. What? You know, get the fuck out of here. You know, old school RuneScape may have been broken down and completely unplayable anymore. I can understand that. I can totally understand that, and here's how broken it is, basically, from the very beginning. And I don't think it's gonna get better if you play deeper into it. You know, it's at this point it's a trap. That's how traps work, right? Like, it's bad from the very beginning. You know, you get stuck, right? Then a person who trapped you sees you and then abuses you. You know, it gets bad from the very beginning. Traps, that's how they work. Amazing. Oh, by the way, when I'm talking about 70k in old school RuneScape, I was playing on 4 accounts. Yeah, and trying very hard. I don't even know what that means anymore. The coolest thing about collecting items and selling items is that they have a story. these are like tokens. This is exactly like what I'm trying to explore, and why RuneScape is actually double the relevant to this video even. These are like little coins that you exchange for like real cash if you're like super desperate. And they have a story, so it's like, it was pretty easy to get raw beef, and I don't think it's supposed to be worth it that much. If people start grinding, the price would start dropping very quickly. And at that point you just want to sell out, right? Like, sell the stuff that you know is very easy to obtain. But otherwise, if certain things are difficult to obtain, they're very likely to rise in value instead. So you just stash them, just collect them basically. Put them in the chest and forget about it. And they're supposed to rise in value, and when they do, you know what to do. You know that you have to obtain that item. It's a weird thing, but I really like those little things, even though it's not that little. I don't know. It's so weird. Obtaining logs is pretty easy, and it's everywhere, and it's probably never gonna rise in value. But the value is pretty high, and almost like a standard value here, which you can compare to other things as well. There's so much in this to explore, basically. I'm just getting started, so why should I have any comments anyways? Yeah, starting and the only reason why I actually have a second account right now open is because certain things actually take a lot of time, and my second account is just gonna do this easy cow picking activity if I get stuck doing something tedious. But it's pretty convenient, I'm not gonna lie. Like, here's another thing. I immediately recognized that inventory space is gonna be very, very strict here. I already filled in like 30 slots, and you wanna get rid of a lot of items that you don't need at that point, like burnt meat. And all of these items are gonna drop in value dramatically. All of those secondary items that you don't collect and people don't collect. So it's so fucking interesting how the economy works. Like, trying to understand economy and the story of every item and how they relate and what they do, what benefits they give. Like, putting those statistics together would be pretty fucking fantastic to me for a job. Just sit there and do that. I mean, seriously. Economy is like one of those things you specifically speculate about. Like, there's nothing you can do. You just have to compile information, get as much information as possible, get as many theories as possible. The likelihood of those theories to be true, and you compile that information together to get a reasonable idea of what's going on. Because who knows why certain prices are the way they are, right? Like, you have to speculate on everything. Why is old school RuneScape is doing so poorly compared to this game? Why is nobody playing this game? Why is nobody talking about it? I do that all the time. I answer these questions as quickly as possible, and that's how I get my general understanding of things. I believe the idea that you almost get the most valuable activity by killing cows. I probably will not find another one like that for a long time. So I just exchanged it to gold, and it wasn't that difficult, but beef wasn't selling immediately, so it took a little bit of a toll on me. It doesn't matter really. 5% basically tax. But the idea that farming is the first activity that you should be doing in life kind of makes sense, right? Everyone's making a mistake right now by living in towns. Or are they? It's just interesting to think about. Right now, the best thing I do is just kill chickens and pick up eggs. And kill imps as well, because they're a bit more valuable than cows. 3k actually. Each imp while I'm mining as well. I just want to know what I get for mining experience when I actually get there. I also need better equipment too. Another thing that is very relevant is that mining is not just click a button and you let go. You actually have to switch around every so often because there's this heat bar that gives you experience if you keep on switching. And also, this happens. You have to wait until you collect a rock and then do a critical hit and collect another ore. And it gives you, again, experience for being very active with how you mine. You can choose to do either way, but it's better to be active, basically, as active as possible. It gives you more experience, which is not exactly what you want. So I'm kind of, you know, underwhelmed by this thing. But jumping into, like, higher level ores, I guess is gonna be useful. I'm not sure. I'm just exploring while at the same time killing chickens. They're crazy valuable and easy to loot. It's just so good. Paul finally came out with his Corona fucking take, which is not really a take, he's just trying to laugh at politics. That's all he does. For me, this virus is a fucking nightmare. It's just fucking bullshit. What people are doing, they're just destroying their own fucking lives because they created a fear for something that they're supposed to try and defeat, try and catch and defeat. You know, there's no better way to do it than just head on against what you fear. That's how you defeat it, especially when everyone cares about it and everyone would want to defeat it, but nobody fucking does it properly because government stands in the way and fucks everything up. Everything right now. We get to fucking observe World War III at this point. A new generation of war basically is here, is happening. A social war. And it's only gonna progress into the technological age when we are capable of social distance or whatever. We're capable, so it's fucking easy to do, and everyone is just gonna laugh at each other until, you know, I'm gonna double check. Maybe it's doomsday around the corner. Maybe we're exaggerating of our behavior a little bit too much. Who knows? I'm not exactly against war. It looks like fucking weird experience that everyone is going through. Cool. Let's do that. I don't mind that. I also don't mind isolating myself, but I mind when rules start to change and makes me uncomfortable living, especially when we're in an economic crisis. Technically, it's just no. Everything is wrong now. I'm not sure if we're gonna recover from this. We haven't even started, like, really calculating how many problems we just caused just by shutting down businesses. Like, this bullshit. In an age of money, you'd stop businesses from operating 1 month, and it's gonna be a fucking disaster. Disaster. Think about how long it's gonna last. It's probably not just gonna be 1 month. that certain business is gonna go off, and it's just fuck. I'm lucky, but fuck everyone else. They're insane to follow these rules. But rules are rules, you know, you gotta fucking follow them. You just have to. Just ultra enforcement of rules. There's no way around it. And that's why society's so vulnerable to this bullshit of rules and rulers. And we're in danger, but it's just the phase. It's gonna be over soon. Don't worry about it. I'm just gonna continue playing RuneScape. Nothing is happening, and it actually will work. I mean, I will just jump into ignore my problems, but be aware of my problems anyways, because I'm not fucking stupid. I can afford to do that. Other people, not so much. I can't help but to feel like this virus is the same debate with vaccines. Like, vaccines is the worst way to actually cure a disease, because you're injecting a disease in an unnatural way straight into your bloodstream. Just straight up. Just die, you know. That's what a vaccine is. Just die, but if you survive, you're gonna be immune to that disease. Holy shit, that is good fucking job, medical science. You figured it out, you know? You figured out how to shoot me in small doses, and my skin becomes like rock solid because you just shot me a bunch of times. But then I can't live with myself because I'm getting skin cancer or something, you know? There's nothing that you can fucking do. You have to straight up and fucking go against your fears. And those fucking vampires, they don't fucking care. They're just gonna go all the way around every single time some fucking threat comes up. They just want to control it, but be super fucking distant from it. No, there's no fucking solution like that. I'm gonna get angry. I'm gonna get super powerful. I'm gonna knock them out. Oh wait, my personality actually counters them. Please stop. Stop giving me power. I'm not supposed to fucking rant about this shit. You know? If I awaken, it's game over, you know? Vampires are supposed to play their stupid game and not awaken me. Not fucking make me angry. You know, don't turn me into Hulk mode, because one person can shut down a fucking business. Do you want that? For a month. For one more month. You want one more month? You can't buy toilet paper for one more month. Are you gonna survive? You know? Are you prepared? You just fuck off. One person, and then guess what happens? You might awaken another person, because I get fame for just going Hulk mode against everyone, and then I get fame, and then other people do it. Holy shit, you know? Apocalypse. But I'm obviously smarter than that. I'm gonna wait even longer when it's even more effective than what I just fucking said. I'm sick. At least I say it. You get credit because I said it once. But don't make me say it again, right? It's getting exponentially worse when things get repeated from initial step. When I already said it, when I already know what's going on. Don't make me do it again. Do I have like a super good insight of how this disease works? Not really yet. I don't care. Until I actually encounter it, I don't care, and I will never encounter it. And technically, well played, you know. It's a disease. I'm immune to that. It's never gonna make me angry unless other people don't know how to fucking work around it. They have to work around it, and they have to make me happy while they're struggling, okay? There's no other way. Don't turn it into a bigger disaster than it already is. It's gonna be fun to see how it works out, but Jesus. I don't like being evil, you know? Well, you can't can't defeat a disease, you know, it's your problem. Can't. It's your body's. It's reality's problem. Whatever you put together. But most importantly, like every disease, it's all stress related. And guess what? Everyone's stressing right now. It's not gonna help. This lockdown is definitely not gonna help. Let it spread. Let people go sick. It's gonna be the same fucking exact effect. People are not working. People are sick, and the disease just kind of resolves itself. There's no other way, and yet vampires fucking think there is another way, and they're trying to invent something stupid. You know, science, baby. No. It's just straight up. There's no magic. There's no science. There's none of that shit. Forget about it. The only thing I have a problem with myself is that I might not have good habits. But at the same time, I am isolated. I don't care anymore. If I had friends, I probably would care about myself a lot more. So, I don't really exist in a society. I can judge them as much as I want. I am not concerned. I'm not touching myself. You know, I'm not throwing bricks at myself at the same time and trying to dodge those bricks. I can judge society as much as I want right now. They're not useful to me. They don't exist. They're just frozen. And if they come up to me, they get smashed. Unless they're actually nice. They're actually like transcendent in their power level, and I actually care. Wow, that would never happen. But maybe it will. Who knows? Rebecca Black is live today. Let's see what happens. I'm so curious. This video is obviously trash, and I am just 1/4 into this. I was maybe 1/3 now, if you calculate everything. It's so slow, very slow. But I haven't really picked up. I picked up some tokens, and I'm starting to get the idea that there might be something that I can put together that inspires me to just mine like really, really good insights. But until that happens, I still have to wait a little bit. Even cooler effect could happen is that our brains pick up on this threat, right? And it starts to manufacture it, right? Tries to predict of how dangerous that threat is, and if everyone is like panicking, it's gonna create a pretty big, you know, vaccine automatically to your body. Your body is doing everything already. Everything you can fucking imagine, your body is already prepared for it. Otherwise, we wouldn't even exist. We just hit a rock and die. Because we couldn't handle the pain, right? At some point, pain diminishes, but scars remain, right? How does that make sense? Your body's prepared to do everything. So, it also vaccinates you based on what you experience. You don't even have to touch anyone. You don't even have to interact with anyone. You're just gonna create this placebo effect of an illness. And it's gonna work wonderfully. Right? Experience really helps perpetuate that. And panic turns it into a pandemic. Easily. That's what it is. There's no other way to fucking explain it. And prove me wrong. But, the more some people try to prove me wrong, you're just wasting your time. Right? Either you have confidence or you don't in this matter. I do. I very much do. But I still need experience, right? I'm still not out there in the world doing things, and there's no way to deal against pandemic, when everyone is I don't care. I just don't care. I can't. That's the best way to deal with it, you know? I think I know what I want to do next episode, the way that I will introduce it once again. I certainly can't finish this. I can't finish round 7 like forever at this point. Did I mention that Freddie Wong is in the rocket jump? Because it literally represents a universe that includes VGHS. So it works out. Okay, he's a cool guy, but he's not that cool, okay? He's not cool enough to be an ace. He's just good at what he does, which is good enough to be better than just a regular creator. Other than that, we'll see. Still need to get things done, but we're probably gonna win like 100% of the time. I don't even see a chance that other teams have. I don't see it. The problem lies mostly in the idea that just by doing this, I analyze so many things, and there's no rest. I don't get any rest to focus on anyone else and spend my time for other people. I literally spend time for myself. So, actually, the way that I'll finish this video, I'll sit through a live stream of Rebecca Black. Last time it happened, it hit me, okay? Maybe it can do it again. Interact with someone that I admire. That would be fucking fantastic. But much worse would be to be a pain in the ass, to be too visible, which is almost doomed to happen eventually, and I don't know how to handle that. Other than that, there's a story. Yet again, I want to like recap what it means to become an ace before I even do it, because there's one particular part of the story that occurred to me that, you know, people already kind of determined going to settle and have all these ideas because they live in a certain environment or they have certain type of parents that encourage that sort of behavior. But there's always a twist in the end of the story, and the feeling, there's supposed to be some kind of overwhelming feeling that everything you're doing is wrong. And I'm not sure when that feeling happens, but yeah, everything you're doing is wrong. You have to change everything. You have to change yourself. You have to do it. For me, I have been changing everything technically, and I dropped everything that was kind of semi-difficult, which includes mainly programming. I'm not sure if I dropped anything else. Like, because I didn't have much to drop. I didn't actually create anything. But if I was making music, I would drop that. If I was a creator of any kind, I would just drop my stuff. Like Ninja Scroll, I dropped that because this is not exactly the format that entertains people, right? It doesn't have a story that you know it has a story, like you actually know what you're trying to do here, and it doesn't actually contain other people necessarily. You're just reviewing things based on the news. That's not exactly a good deal to do. And once I dropped all of it, I could actually generate some crazy ideas, which is happening right now. I'm pretty sure it's fucking crazy. And I still get to do everything. I get to do slight programming. I get to do slight ninja school stuff. You know, I get to be myself, obviously. And that's the point, right? Like, you want to be yourself, but you want to be yourself in the right environment, not where you're stuck doing something just to prove that you're allowed to exist and you're allowed to be admired or whatever. Just that's not good enough. I'm realizing if I'll be able to send Rebecca a message, and it's not an April Fool's joke, but it happens to be on this stupid day. If I'm capable of sending her a message that she's like super powerful, and that's about it, like she handled it. Maybe she grabbed that feeling of like, because understanding that feeling is everything. How do you become powerful, and you accept that twist in life that, oh shit, I shouldn't do what other people are doing right now, because they're suffering, and eventually their suffering is gonna end, but you don't want it, obviously, because you're aware of it. You have dealt with that extremely important feeling in your life, of whatever kind is, that judged you for all the evil that you have done. It's almost like the judgment day is over. Like, you did it, and you know who you are afterwards, right? You either got disappointed and went away to hide yourself in whatever pleasures or activities you have to do. Like, you know what happened, right? You know what you carry with you. You can hide it from other people. You may not want to tell everyone, but it's not easy to do that either. So I just want to explore this a little bit more next episode, or the start of the next episode, and hopefully I'll have enough time to do this. I really drained my time just desperate, because like I need a fucking proper job. Like, everyone needs a fucking proper job. The whole fucking world right now, what is this shit, you know? It doesn't feel like people are getting paid properly for what they do, and or allowed to be who they need to be. I don't know. I just don't see anything positive in the world. The only thing is that, like, I'm still alive. It's crazy. But yeah, see you guys next time. Oh yeah, I mean, I will have to put a conclusion if I did send a message or whatever, and what her reaction was. The live stream is gonna be a very stressful moment. It's literally what I paid for. Technically, you know, I became a Patreon, and I'm like, okay, Discord doesn't work, but at least she's doing something this month. Like, Jesus Christ, I wouldn't buy anything, but this is stressful because, like, I will have to judge her if she makes it, you know, to the ace level. If I make it to the ace level, I might be even judging myself at the same time. Who knows? I'm so stressed out. It's scary. Normally that's a good feeling, because, you know, like, that's powerful. I just conjured power using this concept of her and me observing her, and everything else, okay? It's supposed to be my strongest teammate right now, at this very moment, specifically, right? Just every single time it could be someone different who shines, but it's great. I think it will go great. See, the problem is that you can make a lot of mistakes when being popular. Like, I can just judge the shit out of that. Can you judge me back? It's very difficult. The way you can do that and make me judge myself is like, if you withdraw some kind of power that you have achieved, then be like, well, you're never gonna get that. And I can become jealous, and then judge myself for not having that power. Sort of like I still need to think about it, whether I have it or not, right? Because I'm supposed to have everything for like the cheapest version of that available to me. If I don't have it, and I have to judge my, like, that's gonna hurt. But like, there's nothing really that could kill the idea right now. Like, the idea is established. I don't think it can be killed. I don't think she can kill herself, or I can kill myself just because some weird shit gets introduced. Like, I don't know. I think we're ready. And that's a pretty important part of a video, right? Like, that's a conclusion of something. Of is round 8 even happening? Because that's the final round, right? Round 8 is final round, and round 9 is bonus, and then there's probably more bonuses, but it's a big bonus. Okay. God damn it. The clock just switched, right? Like, so now it's 2 a.m. Fuck. 2 a.m. No. 1 more hour of stress and shit. Stress and no balls, man. Seriously, right? Like, that is a lot of power. Like, to make me stress like that, I've never felt that. Like, this is the weirdest moment ever. Also, unscripted, because that wasn't a part of my plan. To prove myself? Are you kidding me? Get the fuck out of here. I don't need to prove myself. So yeah, here's the bonus part of the video, because I'm not cutting it out. Okay, I'm not making a new video. A new video, I know how to start and I know how to end. I have to fucking figure this shit out, because it's taking me forever. And I should be able to have enough time. Like, it's fine. Okay, live stream is over. And I don't want to hear it, dude. I honestly didn't see that. Honestly didn't see that coming. Oh, wait, what? It didn't normalize yet. Obviously. Alright, let's jump in. There's something we need to talk about. A lot of things. Just everything. There's a lot of insecurities that I have. Obviously. It's like, okay, I haven't talked about enough about coronavirus or something. Haven't talked about enough of what exactly the power of my content and the value of my content, and if I can actually take over YouTube at some point. Just like Technoblade, I could actually have enough talent to just be jumping around and just swooping big ass opponents, you know. First I get the skills, and I get some, you know, prestige by picking the right type of people for myself, and leaving everyone else, like, sort of wander around and be discovered and explored. Right? That's what I'm doing. It's pretty fun. The ending of this video is fucking weird, okay? It's weirder than you thought. This weird little shit. Guess what? she defeats Emma Watson easily. Like, with one video. That's the power of YouTube right there. That's 10-10, right? I hate you. What have you done? Why did you 10-10 on me? You're not 10-10. Fuck off. This is why I'm also scared almost, like, okay, at least Selena Gomez is like top tier, right? Most popular on the internet, right? That's how it works. So YouTube still, has a place for her and is waiting. My team is just on a waiting list. It's not exactly like unleashed ultra powers. That's kind of what I'm aiming at, Potential is more important than the actual content available. But the content available already is ridiculous, right? If you actually calculate her stats, Selena's stats, that's ridiculous stats. And they're showing off right now. Same goes for Ari, okay? But holy shit. Nobody cares about Harry Potter. Even though it was super popular, it was tremendously powerful. Back in the day, when books were a thing, but now you can do books. You had to translate this whole fucking movie series into an internet series. And it didn't happen. Nothing like that happened. And Emma Watson did not show on YouTube. It tried to show in some movies and horribly failed. I believe it's a horrible failure. It's such a horrible failure that she not only has a chance, I'm pretty sure she has 100% chance, but Watson is a 2-layer beast. It's a beast. It's 560 points. She has to break through all these layers and 51 points. However, we already know Watson only has like 120 points exact, like really, and here like 30 more points. So it's 150. Watson just took a chair that she doesn't really belong to sit in, and we already have 20. With one video, there's enough ideas to like blow my head off. I didn't even watch the full video. Look at this shit. Look what the red line is. This is not full video watched. Are you kidding? My mind is blown. She's just smart. She's not what you would think it is. She's not actually a sniper. She's a triple sniper. Meaning that she tricks everyone that she's a sniper, but she's actually like an earth creature who's very smart. Like that's the whole point, right? That's the whole point of it's a trick shot. It's not a sniper shot. It's not like she's super hot and constantly puts herself on the thumbnail because that's what she is. But she is pretty, I suppose, and she is modeling around. I don't care, but it adds to the value. But when you get the full package, it's next level Nikki Limo. Absolutely next level. They just absolutely, but she doesn't look that pretty though. With those glasses, she looks fucking creepy. Okay, and that's a good indication of who she is as well. Again, we know the wolf part is very much true because it's on the end. It's like, yeah, I'm kind of that kind of person, and just straight up wall. Like, okay, I can get behind that word. Usually people don't fucking lie in their usernames, but there can be trick shots like that, and I am very much approving that one. That's fucking beautiful. Even I have a fucking shitty name, dude. Guru is just smart dude, right? I'm guru at something. I can explain it very easily to everyone, and you will pick up all the principles basically, and you'll just know what to do with that thing. I'm capable of defining things. I'm capable of capturing the spirit of things which is why Guru is a spiritual teacher. It's a teacher of definitions now. My new and improved definition of my word is teacher of definitions. The highest tier, basically, of smartness. Not that easy to fucking achieve that. I'm not gonna lie. You wanna try? You wanna try? Nobody tried. Nobody fucking tried to stand in my way of where I was going. Okay? But the moment I will get popularity, the game will change, right? People will think that by attacking me or interacting with me, they're getting popularity, for example. Like, they're gonna get some weird tactics, basically, and weird impulses. It's gonna kind of challenge me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited, but I'm not exactly that much excited because I know I'm gonna win 100% of the time. It's just gonna be fun, crushing my opponent. That's how it works. I love how quickly people learn things, but the problem in this world right now is that people are not picking up multiple things. They get stuck in they get addictions, basically. They get stuck in a certain role, and they gotta fucking break through that role when the time calls for them, and they get highlighted, and they kind of just be like, oh shit, I can do better, I just have to think a little bit and do better. But it's not that easy for them. When you have a lot of addictions, you start contemplating, and at some point you might even give up. In fact, that's most of the time what's going to happen. Unless I encourage my team. Obviously, the problem is you can only care for so many people. When I watch Rebecca Black's, live stream, there's only a few people, and I really, really care about her. Okay, there were only just a few people, and I was like, well, I'm a pretty important part of this shit, and caring is pretty hard to do. You can pretend care and be like super sweet all the time. It's still care, it's still effort. It counts. You're gonna make another person feel good. It counts. But you have to stick around and have a very good reason why you're doing this, instead of just, oh, that person is popular, like, I'm crafting a definition that I like of that person. If they don't fit that definition, I give up on them. That's how it works in life. That definition has all the reasons why I like them, because I have fucking created them in the first place, right? Do they fill the mold or they don't? That's up to them to decide. After they hear my opinion, they will choose. It's simple. Now, that is a wonderful rant, and SniperWolf gets another 5 points. She just, I don't know, awoken a fucking giant within me. What just happened? I never felt like this before. Well, I did. It's kind of like a sleeplessness pill. After you wake up, you shouldn't do anything creative. Don't do it. Don't do creative things. Once you start getting to sleep, there's one more kick that you can do. Kick yourself in the butt and see what happens. That is when you are most creative. Before you go to sleep, you're the most creative, you're the most fucking genius, you're most powerful. And if you can capture that fucking moment and float down to sleep, the problem right now is the world. Okay, everything is timed, everything is very strict. You might have to wake up a certain time and you have to sleep a certain time, or otherwise you're going to be very much punished by being tired all the time and feeling out of place all the time, and just crushing your day, basically. But it's someone else's fault. We have to liberate ourselves so badly. We have to liberate jobs to be more flexible, and it's so possible, but it's so not happening. at the same time. And right now, people don't even have jobs. How is that even possible? You know, how a fucking threat of any kind doesn't create more jobs, but instead take away jobs? That makes no fucking sense. If people want to be protected, they could use another human being to do so, right? Another human being should be able to do something about it. Come on, like, are you kidding me? The world is upside down right now, and I have to fucking scream and shout to the highest of powers so it doesn't fucking reverse gravity on us. Like, this is not okay what's happening right now. And people do have a strategy in life that they follow, and I respect that strategy, and it's probably like a timed strategy, right? They pick up the pieces as they grow up of what's best thing to do in their category. For me, however, it's best to be myself. Who would have thought, right? It's best to be myself because there is no fucking time, right? I am Technoblade, but I'm not stuck in Minecraft. You know, I get to be myself. I get to be myself every time I get paid, though. That's right. I can be attacked as easily as everyone else. But hey, you pay me $5 and I'll live for a day. How about that? That's crazy, right? I get to live for a day. That's amazing. Because my life is super cheap. And nobody cares. Not even Mr. Beast, who's planting trees and not people. You know, plant people, asshole. It's a meme. Obviously, he's doing a great job, and I can't attack Aces at all. They're doing a great job. They're gonna be inspiring everyone when I start talking about them, and I will not be able to shut up for like 10 episodes. That means 30 hours. That means sit and fucking listen, because these people have fucking changed the landscape. Landscape is here. Occupy it and enjoy. But give us some credit, okay? Every one of us needs some kind of resource. Will need some kind of because we became so good. We also became so empty inside, right? We need something. I need people to support me and be friends with me. That's it. I just need friends. Holy shit. What a weird resource to not have. But that's what being me means, right? You're gonna lose something by definition because you're not the universe, you know, you're not full of yourself. You haven't created everything around you. You spawned in here, picked up a strategy, and try to do the best you can with that fucking strategy. And it's not gonna magically just create everything you want. But it will once you settle down and you establish yourself and people are like, oh, it's easy to pick up his values and maybe exploit them, maybe use them, whatever happens, it's up to you to protect yourself, to establish yourself, to have experience in the first place, good or bad, whatever, right? Just appreciate it as well is important. And that happens, right? You establish yourself, and then people appreciate you to the fullest. You get everything you need, and your life, you know, goes downhill. Because you're getting numb, basically. You can't live numb. You have to always live on the edge if you want to grow. And once that edge is off, you just stop. You just start dying. But maybe it's a good death. Maybe death is not the end of everything. Maybe this peak and downfall is just, you know, you will create your own fucking universe. You will be an infinite strategy in this finite world. Maybe the environment now will become you, and what you define as yourself will become God, right? Who's capable of doing anything. Like, the roles can actually switch, and my mind is again blown because I don't I don't like this. Every single time you open Book of Matrix and you're like, oh, that happens. I will get cat ears after all. Huh? Yeah. God damn it. Maybe I shouldn't open this book anymore. It's the only thing that Emma Watson could hold on to. But no. Let's give up to SniperWolf, our new hero. Earth personality that directly replaces the best magician. No. You try to educate yourself while shooting a movie? Educate yourself on this, Emma. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, I'm so sad. I'm so sad at making any change ever. Because how did that happen? Wow. Try not to say wow challenge. I guess I failed. And guess who wins? Alright, see you guys next episode. Because now, everyone has tokens. Everyone's established. Maybe we're gonna change this token with SniperWolf. We're gonna figure it out. It's like, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good token. We work together now. She's my teammate for no reason. At this particular moment, because she has to catch up, she has to triple snipe, basically. She has to snipe herself in by sniping Watson and the previous person, which is Allison Hunnigan. Like, crazy, dude. Crazy. Can she fill up all the content on her own? I'm not gonna let her do that. But I'm gonna do 200 points. If she can get 200 points, she's in. That's it. This is good enough for me. Alright, I do have a little bit of time. I duplicated the file, and I thought I was over 3 hours, but I'm not. So, let's do a proper ending this time. I'm starting to find a lot of weird videos on YouTube. Or rather, just maybe get a even weirder sense of vibe of what I'm supposed to do. One of which should go immediately to a sweet spot and say to you guys that I'm discovering even more Matrix as I go deeper and deeper into it, and you settle down once you stop going deeper. When that's basically the feeling that I'll be talking about next episode, the start of the next episode, because it kind of defines a huge portion of why people become better than the rest, right? If you're a cunning person and you have a reduced sense of fear because of what you're going through, because of how much you actually need of like respect, love, all these valuable things. You really need those things, so you're going to literally turn into mechanized, upgraded, spiritually awoken, whatever version there is. You're gonna go deeper into that and seek higher and higher enlightenment just to be able to fucking survive sometimes. It's unbelievable. But if you're a good person, you will find a lot of evil in the world, and you will naturally want to fucking erase that evil and establish yourself. Settle down once you are completely safe, once you completely ensured your safety of your identity. So I pretty much explained it. It's a huge concept. It's ridiculously important. But what I want to do is try to figure out what I'm going to be doing next episode, because this is not over at all. We're 1/3 of the way in, and the other two halves are gonna be probably very interesting. It's not gonna destroy round 8 by any means. Every single round is gonna one-up each other. So this time is gonna be very, very interesting. What I want to do is review every single team. Maybe let's do it in order. Even though there is the order of like, this team is winning. We are winning right now, and mostly due because my girls are not only wildcards, water and earth combined, which, if you really think about it, fire and wind creates chaos, but fire and wind requires order to sustain themselves at the same time. It turns order into chaos, basically, right? The same way water and earth is chaos that turns into order. Like, yeah, you would think ice is a beautiful pattern, or a rock is a beautiful pattern, but ice is not water. Water is liquid that slips away easily, and you just can't hold it, really, unless you do it properly, unless you hold it in a thing for it to take shape. It's a weird concept. I can't explain it right now because I tried already, and it's weird. I don't want to repeat myself. Wildcards are weird that create chaos. I just explain where it's coming from, right? For example, wind, if contained, just like water, wind actually gets destroyed. There's no wind in your room. Nothing. Whatever comes in, it stops. The best example of that is hurricanes, tornadoes, because wind for some reason turns into a whirlwind. Why? Every single time wind has to change direction, it will slow down, meaning that this is one of the best ways to like remove energy from existence, that our wind turns into something else. Who knows? Because energy doesn't really disappear, but that's what's happening with tornadoes. Like, you have these, I don't know about pressure. I just know that when wind is trapped, it has to constantly change direction to survive, and it can't do that. It slows down and disappears. The same goes for fire. Fire constantly needs fuel, obviously. It has a very, very specific order in which it appears. And it spreads, and it never really dies. Never really, unless it stops having fuel. So it's kind of very similar problem in some way. And it shows you how it requires a certain order for this thing to exist, but it creates chaos. Like, wind creates chaos and fire creates chaos. If it turns into a tornado, especially, right? If it tries to remove itself, I don't know. And so the other elements are supposed to do the opposite. They're supposed to create order somehow, which is not exactly what I care about. The one interesting discovery that I made is Ari is capable of like giving a very clear first impression of who she is and how the interaction might go, and like it's such a weird and difficult thing to do, to just create that first impression that is full of information. Basically, everyone knows. Everyone has this sense of psychology. At least I watched a TikTok, and it explained very well what happened, but I can't like explain it without impersonating her. But what my feeling was is that when I consumed her content, basically, I really got deep sense of who she is in a way that it changed my perspective in life, right? I could actually get the sense of what sweetness is, okay? And all of us, and if everyone gets that sense of sweetness, right, everyone knows what it is, and all of a sudden she's holding that concept that she's able to shove everyone in everyone's brains, in everyone's feelings, right? It's tremendously powerful if that just comes out of just first impression, and now you know how to reenact Ariana, right? Like, why are there impersonators in the first place that do a very, very good job? Okay, creepy, but that's where it comes from. Selena Gomez is not an impersonatable person at all. Okay, she's working very hard. Okay, it's not maybe not necessarily a difficult job, the most difficult job in the world, but she's just as impressive, except in a long term. So as Ari's gonna grab your attention, Selena is gonna grab your heart and be like, but I did more work, but I'm better singer, you know, that sort of thing. That sort of ideas are gonna come up, because I believe she actually has more songs released and everything. She's more exclusively a singer, and she shows up in more movies, and you know, she also has a series. Like, that's a lot of work. But the hardest part of work is being a fucking model, which Ariana can't keep up with at all. Not even close. Right? That's why Selena is just way more popular on the internet, let's put it that way. It's crazy. Mostly because of Justin Bieber, and everyone wants to hate him. And then, you know, it's the opposite with whoever broke up with Justin Bieber, you know? Crazy. But let's not touch that, because it's fucking bullshit. It's like poking me and saying Monica, you know? Like, don't do it. Please stop. She doesn't exist. She's just wind, and Justin Bieber's just fire, you know? She got burnt, and I got rejected by a ghost. Doesn't exist, please. We can finally move on away from my team. It's a flood, okay? It's full of stuff you will not be able to comprehend, because your heart is stolen and your attention is stolen. All you care is stolen, basically. All you care about is this sweet little fucking feeling that you get. But then your heart is stolen, so you can't care about yourself anymore. You're just a fucking mindless zombie at this point. Congratulations. You have been merged with the nature of my team. I don't know. It's so terrifying. It's double wildcards. Anyways, we have to move on. And the most recent Captain Sparkles video that I'm watching right now is him basically jumping into Minecraft Matrix. What the hell is that? This is not a Minecraft team, by the way. This is a card universe. Hearthstone team. And it's very deep. As I've shown with the Hunter aggro video, it was like an initiation process. You have to start with aggro. You have to fall in love with fast decks and ignore your opponent, basically, of whatever he does. But at the same time, you don't have to ignore him. You can, because you're asking a lot of questions every single time you play certain cards. You're putting a lot of pressure very early on, very quickly, and it's very simple, right? But you can complicate your aggro deck by creating more illusion of threat, right? So hunters are pretty great at doing that because they have powerful secrets, right? Every other class is a little bit lackluster on the aggro side. Maybe paladins, because they have divine shields, they can always create and a lot of buffs, so they can just create weird situations as well, where you're never really safe against the paladin, because they just can pull off some weird shit. Shaman also was capable of doing this Wind Fury out of nowhere combo damage, and it's probably still possible. So these three classes, if you can create a lot of burst from the board itself, Druid is not exactly that, because Druid is very easy to clear, and they don't have any clears, so it's hard for them to actually stick on the board and consistently pull off some kind of combo, and they don't even have that. Their buffs are very weak and non-scalable. At some point, Priest was a combo priest for a long time, but it is just a combo priest. If it sticks on the board, it pulls off a combo and crushes you. So you have aggro decks that are trying to trick your opponent, basically, right? Because your opponent should never know how safe it is and how much resources they have to burn in order to counter you. While you're burning your resources very fast, they should also try and match that. And if they are not capable of doing that with their deck, it's just over. And I think aggro is actually one of the best ways to play the game. I was praising tempo a lot, but you get a lot of tempo gameplay in Arena. You don't really need that in Standard. In fact, in Standard you want to build a deck and check if it works and how every single card works. Aggro decks embrace that exploration. It speeds it up, and you get to interact with a lot more cards in your deck and figure out whether you are capable of running out of cards at the right time. It creates a bit more challenges when it comes to deck building, which you cannot do in Arena because you have to be consistent in Arena. So tempo is the only thing that works. While you are capable of being inconsistent in Standard. Sometimes you create a deck that tries to roll like a slot machine, give you the right hand for the start. But that's a bit too much to ask. I don't like that aspect. See, I don't exactly like pure aggro or pure tempo. There has to be something in between where your hand never really sucks. It's like consistent aggro, or consistent ability to drop down a bunch of stuff and eventually put together a little combination of a threat that sits in your hand or accumulates in your hand, and you can unleash that threat finally. So that is a different deck, right? So you can no longer talk about aggro, tempo, and control. You have to talk about archetypes, okay? A higher tier archetypes that do happen, in Hearthstone. And another reason to play aggro is because Blizzard is printing more and more cards that are very powerful late game. Sometimes too powerful because they have taunt, and that kind of breaks the game quite a bit. The problem is that Hearthstone is constantly changing, I would say, and you never know where the mid-range portion is, but you know it's also being squeezed out by all these new powerful cards, and the power level constantly rises. So just like you had Pirate Warrior, that has been incredibly powerful as an aggro deck, you still have aggro decks, but they're not exactly getting more powerful, but they can get more tricky and can pull off weird little things that your opponent cannot expect because more powerful cards create more and more combos that are available. So that should be kept in mind, that as the squeezes and these archetypes becoming more relevant as well, based on the complexity of the game. This is where I draw the line of trying to explain this, because statistics, basically. You have to really analyze the game statistics and understand whether the game got more complex and you can enjoy a next level of gameplay. If it's just aggro, tempo, and control, that doesn't create a lot of gameplay. By the way, there's 4. There's also combo, and now you have to understand which element it belongs to. I will not break it down because I still don't know. I tried. I don't think it worked out for me yet because I don't have it in my head. Okay, I can just pretend that control is like fire, tempo is like earth, so control beats tempo, aggro is like water, I guess. So tempo and aggro still go hand in hand, even though tempo should beat aggro. Aggro can do enough damage to where tempo can keep up, because they won the board, but they don't have enough heals or taunts. They don't have enough control tools, basically. So they kind of go in hand, let's say. And then you have combo as wind, that controls the game and then crushes your opponent at any moment when it's convenient, right? Whenever your opponent shows some kind of weakness, combo can jump in and do its thing. It doesn't necessarily has to be OTK, right? People don't understand combo decks at all. And I think it's my second favorite just because people have no idea what combo decks are. It's not about killing your opponent in one turn. It's about exploiting weaknesses the moment they appear. You play a control deck that doesn't have one-sided gameplay of run your opponent out of resources and then you're just gonna chisel them down. That's what fire is, right? First it runs out of resources, and then what? It becomes ashes. That's it. It's almost like a linear process. Your resource turns to ash, and you are not capable of growing. You get that. It's fire. So in that sense, yeah, that looks like a pretty solid statement of 4 elements that do turn into little sub-archetypes if you can find them. If the game's complexity allows that next level, I'm not sure. It's probably complex enough to where I can find those, but I still would like to explore combo decks because it's a kind of a new concept that people don't understand, as I've said. Now, let's move on. And yeah, if you can combine, but it's still a combination. It's like, yeah, control and combo is actually kind of the same side of the element, right? Like tempo and aggro is gonna run out of resources very quickly, because that's what they're trying to win the game, while the other side is trying to make the game last as long as it takes, basically. It's a very different side. But that's what I like about Hearthstone. It was capable of highlighting what I just tried to explain to you. It's so deep. And with that in mind, I have to finish this video. These were two teams explained fully, right? It does not necessarily belong in round 7, but it kind of does, because this is a time when the flag is like raised, and they have to understand their own identity before the leaders swoop in and show their true powers, basically, true colors, true present moment identity, right? Because I'm talking about just full identity that maybe is potential, but not exactly present. Alright, 2 teams down in 10 minutes each. I'm very satisfied, by the way. It's not bad at all. The longer I can stay in trying to explain a concept, the better. It's a bigger concept that I just find myself in, that I own already, because I experienced it, and I did my homework. A lot of people don't do their homework, well, because they wanted to establish, be a part of that concept, because it's so valuable. For me, well, I didn't find my place. Too bad. Now I just have to own as much as I possibly can. And that's how deep I am in this bullshit. Alright, see you guys next time. I'm gonna finish this and explain what it means to become an ace. What does it take? And what is that feeling that creates an incredible test within you of, like, are you gonna go deeper into the matrix? Do you really need to? You know? Because some people just need to. I need to. But I know that my test probably just happened, you know. It's in the past, I believe. If I can explain what the emotion is, I will also prove that I have already been tested, and that's why I talk about so highly about myself, is I'm already there. I'm just waiting for my moment, right? And that's it. I'm Rebecca Black, waiting for my moment. I'm sorry. I have to meme, okay? Waiting for my Friday. You know, she's so good. She explains my entire existence, probably. Like, that's how good she is right now. For me. For my team. And round 9 is going to be probably a heartbreaking. Like, it's going to be, like, super powerful. And aces are really hard to put together. I think. I'm not sure. I don't want to say anything bad. Anything bad could happen. You know, like, no. I'll forget about that part. I'll hope for the best, basically. Which sounds so bad. But what I can say, though, is that I made something beautiful. Once again, it's next level. maybe I will drop this. Maybe I will think that this is stupid at some point and change my direction of where I go in life. But this is amazing. And that can end the video right now. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just excited. Like, I'm gonna jump to the next video as quickly as possible. Let's do it. Faster, sonic speed. See you guys next time.